Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss economics, and in economics specifically, we are going to discuss industry. So, in industry, we are going to discuss these are topics. We will cover Lewis model, NMP, NICP, Make in India project, production incentive, Startup India, Stand Up India, government schemes for startup ecosystem, Atal Innovation Mission, and also current affairs. So, we will start with Lewis model. In the Lewis model, this model says that in the initial years when a country starts to developing, it is the agriculture that prevails, and after once the agriculture, the country becomes sufficient in agriculture sector, it switches towards the industry, and after industry it switch towards service sector. So this is the ideal model for each and every country. Now, why this model is not working in India? Because India has jumped directly from agriculture to service. Means India has skipped this industry sector. So just because of this skipping, the problems that has been created in the country were unemployment, because industry is the one such sector that provides ample amount of employment, and just because people were not employed, they don't have any money, so there was a problem of poverty also. And just because service sector was something that only offers job to the people who are highly educated, so people who left behind were not able to match the pace with the people who were highly educated and who are getting good amount of salary from service sector. So just because of this scenario, the inequality in the country also started rising. So to solve all these problems of unemployment, poverty and inequality, the government of India framed some policies to promote industry, because industry is the only, or we can say that only solution that can offer jobs to millions, and also it will help to solve the problem of unemployment, which would further solve the problem of poverty and inequality. So one such policy was National Manufacturing Policy, that was started in 2011. The aim of this policy was increasing the share of manufacturing into the GDP of the country up to 25% or to 25%. Okay, and it has to create 100 million jobs, and also value addition in the product. Whatever product they are manufacturing in the industry, they had to add some value on it. So the three problems that were there: unemployment, poverty and inequality. Unemployment would be solved when they will create 100 million jobs. Also it will help in poverty reduction and inequality minimizing. So the features is of this scheme, that is National Manufacturing Policy, state had to arrange 5,000 hectare land, and that land was further divided into 70% and 30%, and that 70% out of 5,000 hectare land was dedicatedly provided to Center for Infrastructure Creation, and the 30% for factory establishment. Okay, there were some challenges in this scheme. First was the land acquisition problem, and the second was approval from Environmental Ministry. We have studied in the environmental impact assessment. So these were the problem or the challenges that this scheme faced. In the same year 2011, another scheme was launched, another policy was launched by Government of India, named National Industrial Corridor Program. I say this, we in general we say NICP. So the aim of NICP was same as National Manufacturing Policy, like 25% contribution to the GDP and 100 million jobs. But this, if we will talk about the feature of this NICP, there were three pillars. The first pillar is infrastructure, another pillar is industrial corridor cluster, and the third pillar is urban township. By infrastructure, we mean the creation of road, railways and airports. By industrial corridor, so there are some defense corridor that are being made in the country, like Tamil Nadu and UP are the states where you will find these kind of industrial clusters. defense corridors also. Now the urban township, the smart city models that we generally see in the news are the outcome of this national industrial corridor program or the urban township pillar. Now currently the government of India has integrated NIP and with NICP. So National Industrial Policy and National Industrial Corridor Program, they both are merged right now, integrated. So after that, in 2012, there was a program called Make in India program that was launched by the government of India. The aim of this program was also same as NIP and NICP, but there was some another dimension of this program, which were growth rate of manufacturing 12 to 14% per annum. Means whatever manufacturing or the production is being made in the country, it should support the growth rate of 12 to 14% per annum. This was the aim of Make in India project. But there were some also the feature. If we'll talk about the feature of this scheme, there are 4 pillars that this scheme covers. The first is new process, new infrastructure, new sector, and new mindset. By new process, we mean ease of doing business. Means government has simplified so many rules and regulations, single window clearance, etc. has been provided under the new process. And new infrastructure, we mean through NIP, that we have already discussed. New sector means initially the 25 sectors were covered under the schemes, but now 27 sectors are being covered under the Make in India project, and the government is providing support from various sources and from various dimensions as well. Now, by new mindset, we mean government from regulator to facilitator. Earlier, government was acting as a regulator. It was creating so many hurdles for a company to, proliferate. But right now, the government is working as a facilitator. It is providing ample amount of opportunities for the company to proliferate. The impact, if we'll talk about the impact of Make in India project, the first impact was, we will talk about first the positive impact of Make in India project. Most sector under automatic route of FDI. Means earlier many sector out of the 27 were through government route. So the government has made it simplified through automatic route. Another impact is India became global champion in textile, electronics, and medicine, these kind of sectors. Now ease of doing business, as we have discussed, and this ODOP, that is one district one product, is the outcome or is a positive impact of the Make in India project. There were some challenges as well, along with problems or the positives. So the challenges are, India has low skill base. As we know that India has low skill base. So just because of this low skill base, the Make in India project could not succeeded properly. Make in India depends too much on FDI also for technology. You know that by this statement like India has low skill base, we understand that whatever degree people are having, the jobs, either jobs are not appropriate so that they can sync their whatever qualification they had with the job opportunity. Or another thing is that sometimes we see that the demand of the companies are so high that people are not able to qualify those eligibility criteria. So these are the low skill based problem that was being faced under the Make in India project. Now another program in 2017 named Phased Manufacturing Program was introduced by the government of India. Under the, if you will talk about the feature of this particular program, government suggested factories to initially produce low value items but gradually shift to high value items. And the result of this particular program was that it got limited success. So after that, another program called Production Linked Incentive Scheme was introduced by the government of India. So the feature of Production Linked Incentive was government selected companies using 2 criteria. These are very important. First is increase in sale, and second is increase in investment. These are the 2 criteria for selecting companies under the Production Link Incentive. And what this Production Link Incentive scheme is about, the government provides subsidies. The subsidies are provided on the basis of incremental sale. Means year on year basis the sale should be incremented. And also there are 14 sectors which are currently getting benefit. Few examples of those sectors like drones, electronics, etc. So this was the Production Link Incentive. Means the incentive is linked to the production. If the incremental sale is happening over there, okay, there is an increment in the sale, there is a increase in the investment. So the on the basis of the production, the government will provide the company incentives. So after this, the government introduced Startup India. Startup India is a program. If we will talk about the definition of Startup India, the DPIIT, that is a the Department for Promotion of Industry and Trade, fulfill 6 eligibility criteria. Okay, what if a company is fulfilling these 6 eligibility criteria, then it could be considered as a startup in India. What are these 6 eligibility criteria? I have sum up them. Understand. First thing is, age of the startup should be less than 10 years. It should not cross turnover of 100 crore rupees. It does not consider merger and split also. Means if earlier a big company was working, few years later they both got split, and so this is split and merger of two small companies merged and they created a big company. So these kind of cases would not be considered as a startup under the this Startup India program. Now the fourth eligibility is potential to increase India's GDP. A company should have potential to increase India's GDP. It should have potential to create employment in India as well. And the important thing is that it should integrate some technology also. Then only the DPIIT will consider a company as a startup. And after that, what is government is providing to those companies who were identified as startups. The support provided by government to the companies who got startup status can be divided into 3 categories. What are these 3 categories? First category is simplification and hand holding. That means single window clearance is being provided to those companies. Means the hurdles of correspondence and there's administrative work that is there. So this particular single window clearance kind of thing is being provided to the companies, so that they can get quickly license and so many things. And also hand holding support in legal services like CA and marketing. So these are the first category that is being provided by support that is being provided by the government. Another category support that is provided by the government is funding and incentives. So under this, first, Government of India provide tax benefits, okay, provides grant as well as loans also through fund of funds mechanism. And this mechanism, for example, if the we will talk about Smile Fund. So Smile Fund was created by Government of India and SEDBI to help startups. And a similar kind of fund called Aspire Fund was created by Ministry of MSME and SEDBI to help rural and agro based startups. And another startup called India Aspiration Fund, it was being created by RBI, LIC, SEDBI to support MSME. And the third support that the government provides is the incubation. Incubation are the institution which help in the development and growth of startup. What they provide first of all training, lab for research and development, and marketing and finance related support. These are the things that are provided by the incubation. And incubators are of 3 types: government, private, and PPP based, that is public private partnership based. So these are the 3 support system that are being provided by the government under this Startup India program. And similar to this, another scheme called Stand Up India is also launched in 2016 by the Government of India. So under this scheme, the Government of India provides security when loan is given to SCs, STs, and women-led startups. And loan that is, the price of the loan is up to 1 crore rupees that is being provided to these vulnerable sections of the society. And the security is what? The security is provided by the Government of India itself. This was the Stand Up India 2016. Now, what are the important methods of startup financing? If we will talk about, the first is bootstrapping. These are the method of startup. How the startup are being financed? First of all, the question that should come in our mind is how the startup got financed. So these are the mechanism or the methods from which the startup gets funds. So the first is bootstrapping. Bootstrapping is a simple method of financing the startup, in which the self-financing startups are being considered or taken, and they use their own savings. So self-finance and own saving when a startup use, this mechanism is called bootstrapping. Another mechanism is crowdfunding. So in the crowdfunding, small contribution from large number of contributors is provided. No share or bond are provided in return. Only final product at a discounted price. Okay. For example, if MI has, let's assume, has integrated some technology, and it has launched in the market a kind of a shoe which is having some technological aspect also. So this sue when the company will launch it into the market. So the many contributions the company will need also. Okay, so the large number of contributors will contribute to the company by giving their funds, but in return company will issue no share or bond to the contributors. But when they will issue this final product, the shoe, this shoe will be given to the owners, or this sorry, not owners, the contributors, at discounted price. This is simple crowdfunding. Then comes pre-seed funding. What is pre-seed funding? Pre-seed funding means funding from family, friends and relatives. Whenever the question or the statement comes and family, friends and relatives are being mentioned over there, you have to understand that it is the statement is talking about pre-seed funding. Then after pre-seed funding comes seed fund. What is seed fund? It is provided by investors like angel investors and venture capitalists. The angel investors are like angels. Whenever they enter into the picture, they provide limited capital for short term, and they also take small amount of share and bonds. So they are angel investor. They don't harm much the company. And the venture capitalists are the one who provide huge amount for long term and enters at a mature stage. They provide loan at a nascent stage, but these venture capitalists, when they enter, they provide loan at a mature stage, and huge amount of equity and position also they want, like board of directors. The venture capitalists are for long term, mature stage, and they also want position like in the membership in the board of directors. So these were the things. Now another thing is that important government scheme related to startup. These were the mechanism that were financed by private. What the government is doing in this case? So the government also has some schemes to finance these startup. So like Startup India Seed Fund Scheme, in short we called it SISFS. So it was started by DPIIT. Okay, and the support to very young startup whose age is less than 2 years. This time period we need to remember. So Startup India Seed Fund Scheme was started by DPIIT, and the support that they provide is to the startup whose age is less than 2 years. And then comes Setu scheme, that is self-employment and talent utilization. Self-employment and talent utilization scheme, this covers the features like it was started by Niti Aayog. It provided financial assistance and incubators, two things, financial assistance be and incubators to technology oriented startup. This is the keyword, technology oriented startups. Okay, the startup have to generate employment in return. In return, what they want, this scheme was started by Niti Aayog, and the Niti Aayog, when the startups are being identified, they are provided simply financial assistance, first thing. Another thing, incubators, and it should be provided to only those startup who are technology oriented. And the fourth important point is the startup have to generate in return the employment in the country. Then comes the most important, that is Atal Innovation Mission. The feature has three components. First components of this is Atal Tinkering Labs. Atal Tinkering Labs is basically nothing but government provides financial support to schools whose children are into 6th to 12th grade, and to introduce science and technology based gadgets in that particular classrooms. Simply, to the student who are in class 6, between the class 6 and 12, and also including 6 and 12, they are being provided simply science and technology based gadgets under this Atal Tinkering Labs. And then Atal Incubation Center, incubators at college level are being provided by the government. And then Atal Community Innovation Center, in which government provides incubation in coastal areas and tribal areas and hilly regions. So basically this was the Atal Innovation Mission. Then there are some current affairs related to these topics, though not very important current affairs were over there, but whatever were there I have mentioned it, here. So the government of India has substantially increased budget allocations for the PLI scheme that we have just discussed in 2025-26 fiscal year, particularly benefiting these sectors. Just recall electronics, IT hardware and textile. Electronics, IT hardware and textiles. So another is funding for textile sector surged by 25 times from 45 crore was in financial year 25 to 1148 crore in financial year 26, while automobiles and auto components saw allocations jump from 346.87 crore to 2818.85 crore. So this is simply data that all you need to understand is just recall these sectors, nothing more than this under the PLI scheme. now if you are preparing for the state pieces exam, then you need to understand these figure also, a rough idea of these figure also. But for UPSC, those sectors are sufficient. The National Manufacturing Mission 25-26, this is important, extends Make in India by addressing the structural challenges. What is this National Manufacturing Mission is addressing the structural challenges that the Make in India project was facing, like infrastructure, regulations, and import dependence. And it is also supporting MSMEs and also promoting Industry 4.0 technologies like AI, IoT, that is Internet of Things, automation, and encouraging clean technology. So manufacturing such as solar cells, EV batteries, and high voltage transmission equipment, these are the things that are being covered under this National Manufacturing Mission. Next is, despite decade long policy push, manufacturing, this is a kind of a way forward that you can just simply have in your mind whenever you are writing answer. So the despite decade long policy push, manufacturing's GDP share is estimated around 13 to 14% in 2025, reflecting ongoing structural constraint even as new investment gather pace amid supply chain diversification to India. Earlier what we have tried that we will reach towards the 25% of the GDP, but right now we are standing over here. So just understand and analyze the entire scenario. We started this initiative in 2011, and right now we are standing in 2025. Whatever achievement we have achieved till today under all these schemes is in front of you. Now you can also write a good way forward by analyzing this statement. Thank you so much for understanding or remaining till the end, and let's meet in the next class. Jai Hind.